for now.
So I suppose let's do your thoughts on raids.
Yep. So, right. This is going to be I guess I'll start with where I've done so far. Or actually, I'll start with what I haven't done, in fact. So, in terms of raids, I've not done Alexander, I've not done Omega, I've not done the Void Arc line, and I've not done Return to Ivalice. Those are...
I know what these things
I know
mean.
from your confusion. Basically, I've done nothing raid-wise in Heavensward or Stormblood.
Right, so you've only done Shadowbringers raid content.
So I've done the Binding Coils of Bahamut. Not the Unending Coil, the one I've done the Binding Coils, the original 2.0 raids.
Yeah.
2.0 up to 2.5 raids. And I've done the Crystal Tower, which is the Alliance raids, the 24-man ones in 2.0, which you need to do for story content now anyway. They should make the Binding Coils of Bahamut actually required, but I'll explain that in a little bit. And I've done... have I done everything in Shadowbringers? I've done everything in Shadowbringers, just not on Extreme or Savage. But I've done all the normal difficulty stuff. As of the night before? As of the night before when I did Diamond Weapon. So I've done all of that stuff on normal.
So what are... Just to explain... What are the difficulty levels of a raid in this game?
So there are 3 types of raid. There are trials.
Okay.
Which are usually against single bosses in very, very big story moments. And usually like singular in sort of nature. So it's a trial is, just this, here's a boss, whatever. There's raids, which is usually, you still do them one boss at a time. As like, for example, E1, E2, E3.
So you wouldn't queue up for, I assume E means Eden?
Yeah.
Right, so you wouldn't queue up for Eden and then be in an Eden run doing all of it. You would queue up for a specific Eden boss.
Yes.
Okay, and then when your queue pops, you teleport in to like, what, just before that boss?
You teleport into that boss arena.
Okay, and is there trash between these bosses?
No. Not in normal raids, as they're called. Just raids, there's no trash.
Wow.
It's literally queue in, fight the boss, out you go. It's really, really it's really heavy instance sort of feeling in a way, but it vibes with general gameplay a little bit more.
Gotcha.
As far as I feel anyway, currently playing it, I've not really felt much of the downsides. And then there's Alliance raids. Oh, those are 8-man, by the way.
Yeah, so we've got
trials
our
and normal raids
trials and normals, which are 8-man.
Yeah, single bosses.
And yeah, so a trial is basically like a one-shot thing, like say Onyxia, like a one-shot boss raid.
Yes.
I don't mean one-shot as in clear, just one boss to kill. So that's what a trial is, and then a raid, just called a raid, is just like 8-man. But the core difference between WoW is you don't have trash. And
it's not like a big instance or anything. It's just you zone in, fight the boss, done.
You zone in, you fight the boss, and in terms of difficulty levels, while it is something you can queue for, it is more analogous to normal mode difficulty in WoW than LFR difficulty.
So the general difficulty progression is trials, raids, alliance raids, extreme trials, and savage raids.
Okay, so
extreme and savage being difficulties of trials and raids.
Okay, so
keep me right if I'm
trials and raids
are
on normal, savage, and extreme difficulty.
No, trials are normal and extreme. Raids are normal and savage.
Okay, so they're just called savage and extreme for really no particular.
Well, yeah, it's just what they're called.
Yeah. That's something that's definitely they have a lot of names for things, and that can be overwhelming in this game.
The closest thing to I see people talking about the there's also Ultimate, which is the hardest difficulty stuff that's completely like purely bragging rights in a sense, and I don't know if because there's I've not done any of them. I think there's only 3 of them in existence at the minute, which is
okay.
There's not very many, but they're pretty rare and they're completely nuts. They're their own raid. They're not like a hard difficulty. They're very, very interesting.
That's the ultimate.
Yeah, ultimate. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's like the Unending Coil of Bahamut.
Is an ultimate.
Yeah. It's not another difficulty boss. It's a completely different.
Right.
Boss.
So you've got trials, you've got raids, and then ultimates are like they resemble trials and raids, but they're their own unique type of content that's just super, super hard shit.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then.
Is there anything beyond savage?
Well,
or extreme?
Ultimate is beyond savage. That's it.
Okay, but not within the same. So you can't do an ultimate Eden.
No.
Okay.
No, there's no ultimate Eden.
Okay, so that actually seems quite simple then. There's only 2 difficulty modes per type of content, unless it's an ultimate, in which case it's only an ultimate.
Then there's alliance raids, which have 1 level difficulty only. which are more akin to regular WoW raids, but a bit smaller. They're the 24-man ones that consist of 3 8-man groups.
Right.
And they are a little bit more, you're in here for a while. Not a long time. It's like 45 minutes. You're killing between, I think it's between 3 and 6 bosses because it varies depending on what expansion or whatnot.
And how much trash is there in an Alliance raid?
Minimal.
Okay.
Like there's some, but they're mini bosses more than trash.
So it's basically not really trash in this game.
There's almost no trash in this game.
That's crazy.
It's incredible for how...
I cannot think of a WoW raid night where I've been glad there's been trash.
Yeah.
And the developers have continually told me that I should be happy about the pacing that the trash gives me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But no, I enjoyed Trial of the Crusader. I didn't do Grand Crusader.
Yeah.
No, but I enjoyed Trial for like that reason. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I don't know. I think about Nyaloth and I think, ugh. But a lot of that was because of, trying to do trash when Crenny's also in your group. Sorry, Crenny, hello.
Yeah, so it's...
I believe Crenny now is in Mr. GM's guild.
Is he? Interesting.
Or was he?
I don't know.
Was it at some point was he not in Mr. GM's guild?
Maybe he was. I can't remember. But, yeah, so there's Ben Tyler with the super explaining. Difficulty tends to be normal trial, Alliance raids, normal raids, Eureka/Baja raid,
48?
which is 48 man, then extreme trials and savage raids.
That's the Baja front and Eureka, which are their own types of content with their own progression system.
Yes, and their own raids.
Right.
Yep. Which is nuts. Yeah, ARR and Heavensward had pre-fight mobs and the 8-mans. Modern ones don't. I didn't know that because I've not done the... the 8-mans in A Realm Reborn? Yes, yeah. Yeah, there's a slight amount of trash. But like
okay.
now there's kind of... Now like... I'm basically going mostly off the Eden and Nier stuff because those are the most modern ones and what I expect going forward. And they are such beautiful experiences in terms of how they're paced.
Yeah.
Like the... Tower of Paradigm's Breach, the final Nier raid, the Yorha Dark Apocalypse questline raid.
Wait, why do they call that the Nier raid?
Because it's a crossover with Nier.
So it literally is a crossover with Nier.
Literally, like there are Nier automata characters and designs and enemies and everything.
And how do they make that like not break the world in the immersion?
Because it's sort of, it's
or is it just basically fuck you, Nier's cool, we've put it in our game, enjoy it?
It does slightly break the game in a very slight sense. But they also kind of have some mechanics that tie in, so you go, that's fine.
Okay.
Whatever.
I mean, hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah,
and I guess, I mean, you're a big fan of Nier.
Also, it's canon and canon in Nier. It's canon.
Right.
It's canon to the Nier universe and to FF14, so it's literally like.
Boris here is saying 2B leggings, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel like any 2B like costumes will do very well.
Well, yeah. I mean, the point is, in these raids, you get a crate that is full 2B costume.
Yoko Taro made it.
Yeah, he wrote it. Yeah.
Whoa.
And that's why I have in one of my notes here. I have I'll remember that scene kneeling to talk to that dwarf for a long time. People know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's like, man, it's unbelievably
There's a super here from Hi from Buddha who says ultimates are an homage to past content. They're a reimagining of past fights meant to be a continuous 20-minute gauntlet.
Yep.
So ultimates are like so even though the thingy of Bahamut or whatever, and Bahamut from what I understand is like the big dragon who came from the moon, who is narrative content in A Realm Reborn. Yeah. And I assume he's dealt with after that.
It's the...
Or something, but is that a thing that happened in A Realm Reborn, but then Ultimate...
I believe...
Chains of Bahamut came in like later.
I believe it came in Heavensward, and it's kind of...
expansion 1?
Yeah. I don't actually know what the... I don't know what the narrative framing for that is, but this is the fun thing. The extremes and the extremes and the savages aren't actually canonical content.
What?
This is weird. At least this is for the ones that I've seen so far. The higher difficulty versions are Recollections. Oh, Stormblood, sorry. I thought it was Heavensward. Stormblood. But yeah, that stuff's not canonical. It's Recollections. What? Which is funny. It's like, one of the things is the minstrel's ballad, as they say. So you, after doing this raid, you go speak to a minstrel, and he sings a song about that raid, but embellishes details.
Oh, so the additional difficulty is the embellished details from the minstrel.
Yep.
Is that how they explain it being video game bullshit?
Yep.
Like, to give you the difficulty, it's just the minstrel trying to make you seem like more of a badass.
Yeah, you basically play fanfics. That's what someone just said.
We've got the killer stove here just supering us, saying the Nier universe canonically has timeline hopping and dimension hopping, which makes crossovers incredibly easy.
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
the entire Nier,
the
entire Nier series is based off a alternate ending to Drakengard 1, where the disease from Drakengard somehow, I don't know how, because I've not seen the ending, makes its way to modern day Tokyo.
Oh, that's really cool. I guess Replicant will dive into that. If that's the
that's the main story of Nier.
I think regarding maybe Ultimates here, Keg Gaming dropped a super saying, imagine fighting Lich King, Sindragosa, Blood Queen, Lanethel, and Sarfang back to back at the same time while Uther doesn't help.
Yeah.
Wait, Uther? Well, it says Luther there,
Tyrion,
but probably means Tyrion, yeah. So is an Ultimate going to be like, hey, what if you had to fully defeat the Lich King and there was no ice cube breaking Chad?
Yeah.
And then that would be the ultimate. So it's like not canonical, but it's okay. Gotcha. Thanks for the super, by the way. That's a handy. It's handy when things are explained in terms of WoW, because it's just, we know that, so it's easy to understand.